YouTube? I'm just going to do another video real quick. This is going to be a cigar video, so if you're not into it, turn it off. Alright, I'm going to smoke a Legend Series Brown Label, which I believe is a Rocky Patel. That's their one they did for Cigar International. But, alright, I've got a couple different cutters here. I got a Palio, which is a guillotine cutter, guaranteed forever, $50 cutter. You'll be buried with that if you take care of it. If it ever breaks or goes dull, you bring it into any place that has a Palio sticker on the door, or send it to Palio, they'll give you a new one. It's a lifetime warranty. And you guys might not know this, but if you have Xikar accessories, lighters, cutters, if you get on the website, take 5 minutes and register your product, they will send you these dank little leather cases, and it says Xikar stamped in the leather. I think it's pleather. It's not really leather, but it's free. So take a couple minutes and sign up for your warranty. I got a V cutter. This is probably my favorite cutter. If I could only take one cutter with me, this would be it. This allows you to cut a really cool V in the end, and if you do it twice, you can make a cross for a bigger draw, for a bigger ring gauge, because sometimes one doesn't do it. But it's very clean. It makes a very clean cut. You got your typical cutter, just a little butterfly pocket cutter. Another one that's guaranteed for life. You can get those on Cigar Bid for like 15, 16 bucks. Not a bad deal. So alright, some of you guys, I see you cut your cigars just crazy. If you take your cutter, if you have a guillotine cutter, put it on a table. Put your cigar in it face down, and if you have a good cutter, your cigar will rest exactly where it should be cut on the cap. I'm going to use a V cutter because I really like the V cut. So, nice draw. Spend the money on the cutter. It's forever. Just don't lose it. You know, I just think I paid 35 bucks for this on Cigar Bid. Not bad for a cutter that's guaranteed forever. Alright, as far as lighting goes, you can use matches. Typically, when I'm out, unless I'm sitting home in front of the TV, I like to use a quick butane torch. This is one instance where I will never use a Zippo. I spend too much money on my cigar tobacco to think about sucking Zippo fluid through my cigar, and it will taste like, I don't care what you do. You can't toast the end with it without it tasting like that. It doesn't bother me. I light my pipe with my Zippo every day. I love it. I don't get that taste in pipe tobacco, but in cigars, I can pick that out. Maybe some of you guys can't, but all right. For lighting, just toast the end. The idea is to get this thing glowing. Now, some people like to light it in their mouth. Nothing wrong with that. If that's how you like to smoke and light your cigars, then light them that way. I've been smoking cigars for 20 years, so if there's one thing I can speak educated about, is I know how to do this consistently. Usually get a pretty good burn. You want to get that nice white ash. This is kind of a lot like lighting a char cake on a pipe. You get that nice red end without scorching the hell out of it. You don't need to put this thing right up to it. It's got quite a distance on it. Don't believe me? Put your hand in front of it. As you can see, I got a beautiful toasted end. And now, blow on the end a little, and you can see in the middle, when I light, there's still some that's not lit. That's the Ligero that's in there. It's the strongest part of the tobacco that gives it its oomph. It's kind of like Latakia in that sense. But it's very hard for it to burn, so It's always lights last. So I give a relight. Keep blowing on it. We're in London now. And you'll be good to go. Get a plug cigar. You got one of these little reamers. And these are also nice when you get to the end of the cigar. If you want to nub it, you just stick it in the end. You got your own little stick. You can smoke it right down. Some guys like to put their cigar nubs in a pipe and finish them right down to ash. I'm not one of those people. I've tried it. I didn't really like it, so I feel like it's one of those things you have to make peace with, that once your cigar gets down to the point where it starts to bitter out at the end. And some cigars I can smoke right till the very, very end. Papas Fritas means crack fries from Drew Estate. Those are little short filler jobbies. They smoke right down all the way. But they're made with 12 different tobaccos, 12 different leaves that they separate each one out in a sorting table before they put those cigars together. That's why they're so expensive. They're $25 for like 4 of them. But for a short filler cigar, it shouldn't cost that much money, is what I'm saying. A cigar at $4 is not a lot of money, but this is pretty good. This is the first one I've had of these. I cracked the box and I sent some to a few guys. So that's it. Nice burn. V-cut smoking good. Tons of smoke. Very, very easy draw. This came out of my humidor. It's just right. I've got a 300 count chest humidor. It's not full, but it's got a lot of stuff in it. I got cigars that have been aging for 10, 12, 14 years. I've got a George Byrne commemorative cigar that's been in there for 14 years. I've got some Opus X's. I've got some really hard to find Ligas. I'm still looking for some Ligas, so if anybody has some stuff they want to trade, shoot me an email, hit me up either on YouTube comments or send me a message. And send me a message on Instagram, I'm on there. This is a pretty good cigar. I tend to be a fast smoker. I like Lanceros because they force you to slow down. Lancero, if anybody doesn't know, is a smaller ring gauge cigar. It's about a 38 ring gauge, and it's very long, like 7 inches, 7 1/4, something like that. But if you smoke it too fast, you won't taste the nuances. It'll just burn really hot and bitter, and it'll just be really sour tasting. But if you slow down, just like a pipe, if you sit there and chuff on your pipe like a fucking chimney or a choo-choo train, it's going to get wet and hot, and it's going to bitter out. And I'm a person that smokes fast even on my pipe, so I constantly have to force myself to slow down. But I think that's all part of it, is you're relaxing. That's the idea. But once you start to slow down, you start to taste the different layers of tobacco, the binder, the filler, the wrapper. And something neat you can try is, if you have like a whole box of cigars or a couple of cigars and you're interested in trying different parts of the cigar, at the very end before you light it, you can peel off the wrapper just enough so that you're lighting the filler and the binder. That's what they do when they test cigars. They smoke them before they're wrapped with their wrapper, so that they make sure the blend's right before they put the wrapper on. There's a name for those cigars that they smoke like that in the factory. I'm not sure what it is, but it's pretty neat. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube. You can find them. A word about ashes. Some guys are all about tapping your ash off every few minutes. Other guys like to leave it on. If you leave your ash on, it keeps the end of your cigar cooler. Cooler smoke, more flavor, more enjoyment. I'm not saying it's wrong to tap off your ash. On the other end of the spectrum, I have a lot of friends that will leave their ash all the way as far as it will hold. It falls on its own, and that's the way they believe. So I don't believe there's a right or a wrong way to smoke as far as your ash goes or anything like that. I think it's important to, if you have a short filler cigar, realize that it's going to butterfly and the end of the ash is going to curl out and it's going to fly all over the place. If you're in a car smoking a short filler cigar with the windows down 55 miles an hour, be prepared to have eyes full of fucking ash. It's going to happen. But this is awesome. Well, I don't know if I enlightened anyone just some different things about cigars, but I hope I did. If anybody's got any questions, I have a private cigar club, and I'd be happy to answer anything anybody's wondered. So, peace, you two.